Welcome to World Prism. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. The once stable US-Canada relationship, long considered a model of cross-border cooperation and economic partnership, is now in crisis. This stability has been shattered by a fierce and escalating trade dispute, with the automotive industry at its very heart. What was once a seamless flow of parts and vehicles across the border has now become a battleground for tariffs and political posturing. On this Halloween in 2025, the economic climate is more chilling than ever, casting a shadow over Canadian cities and towns. The uncertainty is palpable, with businesses and families alike feeling the cold grip of economic anxiety. President Trump's abrupt termination of trade talks, followed by the sudden imposition of a new 10% tariff on Canadian goods, has sent shockwaves through Canada's economy and political landscape. The official justification, a claim about an AI-generated Ontario ad, was quickly debunked by experts and journalists, but the damage was already done. The move was widely seen as a pretext for a much broader economic assault. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick openly declared the administration's true goal: to drain vehicle assembly out of Canada and bring those jobs back to American soil, regardless of the consequences for Canadian workers. In response, multinational automakers are now shifting operations south of the border, threatening the very core of Canada's industrial base and putting thousands of jobs at risk. Trump's inflammatory suggestion that Canada become the 51st state has only deepened mistrust and resentment. Recent polls show that 60% of Canadians now say they can never trust the U.S. again, a dramatic shift from just a year ago. The era of mutual respect and easy cooperation is over, forcing Canada to urgently seek new allies, diversify its trade relationships, and develop fresh strategies for economic survival in an increasingly uncertain world. In a dramatic shift, Prime Minister Mark Carney's government is poised to scrap 100% tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. This move marks a significant departure from the previous hardline stance, signaling a willingness to embrace new economic realities and adapt to shifting global alliances. The decision comes after months of heated debate within Parliament and mounting pressure from both industry leaders and Canadian consumers, who have been feeling the pinch of high vehicle prices and limited options. With the U.S. now undermining Canadian interests, Ottawa is rethinking its alignment with Washington's trade agenda. The once solid partnership has been tested by recent American policy shifts, leaving Canada to reconsider its priorities and seek new opportunities for growth and stability. Carney's upcoming meeting with President Xi at the APEC summit could seal a deal. Canada drops EV tariffs, China lifts bans on Canadian canola and pork. This high-stakes negotiation is about more than just cars. It's about restoring access to vital agricultural markets and rebuilding trust between two major economies. This would boost Canada's agriculture and address a critical vehicle shortage. Farmers and ranchers stand to regain lost revenue, while car buyers could finally see relief from empty dealership lots and soaring prices. The move is driven by necessity. U.S. EV incentive pauses have left Canada with dwindling supply. Canadian dealerships are struggling to keep up with demand, and consumers are frustrated by long wait times and few affordable options. Opening the door to Chinese EVs means affordable, advanced vehicles for Canadians and a clear message to Washington: Canada won't be held hostage. For families looking to go electric, this could be a game changer, offering more choices and better prices. It's also a bold assertion of Canadian independence in the face of U.S. pressure. The risk is real, U.S. retaliation is possible, but so is the reward: economic sovereignty and a diversified trade portfolio. By forging new partnerships, Canada can reduce its reliance on a single market and build resilience against future shocks. Carney is gambling on a new path for Canada's future. The stakes are high, but so is the potential payoff: a stronger, more self-reliant economy that can weather global uncertainty. The outcome could reshape North American trade, setting a precedent for how middle powers navigate the complex world of global commerce in the 21st century. For Tesla, Canada's potential tariff removal on Chinese-made EVs is a game-changer. The previous 100% tariff blocked imports from Gigafactory Shanghai, cutting off affordable Model 3s and Ys. Reopening this channel lets Tesla supply Canada with top-quality EVs at unmatched prices. Shanghai's efficiency means lower costs and faster delivery, putting pressure on competitors still retooling old factories. Canada's break from U.S. policy gives Tesla a unique edge to expand its leadership north of the border. This isn't just about price, it's about accelerating Canada's shift to sustainable energy. Smart, independent policy can overcome trade barriers and deliver real value to consumers. Canada's potential embrace of Chinese EVs is a direct threat to Detroit's Big Three, GM, Ford, and Stellantis. For decades, these automakers have dominated North America, shaping the region's economy and identity. But now, a new wave of competition is arriving at their doorstep, and the stakes have never been higher. Affordable, high-tech EVs from China and Shanghai-made Teslas could flood the Canadian market, setting a new standard for price and quality. These vehicles aren't just cheaper, they're packed with features, advanced technology, and impressive range, making them highly attractive to consumers looking for value and innovation. US automakers, still struggling with costly EV transitions, can't match these prices without major losses. Their legacy manufacturing processes and expensive labor contracts make it nearly impossible to compete on cost, putting them at a significant disadvantage as the market shifts. Canadian consumers, and even Americans crossing the border, would have access to better, cheaper options. This cross-border flow of buyers could accelerate the adoption of foreign EVs, further eroding Detroit's market share and influence in the region. This would force Detroit to accelerate EV strategies and cut prices, a tough ask given their high costs and union contracts. The pressure could spark labor disputes, layoffs, or even plant closures as automakers scramble to adapt to the new reality. Canada could become a showcase for open markets, exposing the gap between nimble newcomers and legacy giants. The country's willingness to welcome global competition may set a precedent for others, highlighting the benefits and risks of a truly open automotive market. The US auto industry faces a dilemma: push for stricter border controls or compete head-on. Each path carries its own challenges, from political backlash to the risk of falling further behind in innovation. Canada's move reveals the limits of protectionism in a globalized world. As trade barriers weaken, the flow of technology and products becomes harder to control, forcing industries to adapt or risk obsolescence. A tariff wall is no match when your neighbor opens the gate. The interconnectedness of North American markets means that change in one country can quickly ripple across the border. The old guard is under siege, facing a future where adaptability and innovation will decide who survives and who gets left behind. The trade war is gutting Canadian auto jobs, with workers taking the hardest hit. Stellantis' $13 billion US expansion means 3,000 jobs lost in Brampton, Ontario, as production moves to Illinois. This is part of a broader trend. US states gain jobs, while Canadian communities lose their economic lifelines. Prime Minister Carney blames US tariffs and political pressure for the exodus. GM's decision to end bright drop production in Ontario is another blow, draining Canada's EV ambitions. For every job created in Michigan, another is lost in Ontario, deepening economic anxiety. The integrated North American supply chain is unraveling, replaced by a zero-sum rivalry. Corporate investment now follows political pressure, not market logic. The result: a bitter transactional relationship where one nation's gain is the other's loss. The partnership that once defined the continent is breaking apart. Stellantis' sudden exit from Brampton has sparked outrage and deep frustration from Canadian unions, who feel blindsided by the decision. The news has triggered a scramble in Ottawa. Unifor President Lana Payne calls it a betrayal of trust, especially after Stellantis accepted public money and made promises to keep jobs in Canada. Payne is now demanding Ottawa retaliate with tariffs and pursue legal action, echoing the anger and disappointment of workers who feel abandoned for US political pressure. Industry Minister Melanie Joly threatens legal action and quickly forms a special task force to try to save auto jobs and protect the industry. The government now faces a tough test: protect workers or risk even greater economic losses. Ottawa's new combative stance is a crucial first step, but whether it will truly work remains to be seen in the coming months. The turmoil signals a fundamental rethinking of North American trade. The July 2026 CUSMA review, once routine, is now a high-stakes showdown shaping every auto sector decision. Canadian industry leaders urge Carney to secure zero tariffs with the US, the foundation of decades of prosperity. Failure could add thousands to car prices and deepen economic pain. Carney faces a massive deficit and must choose: renew US ties or forge new alliances, possibly with China. The proposed EV for agriculture deal with China could help, but risks further US hostility. The old partnership is shattered. Canada is hedging its bets and seeking independence. The US pursues protectionism, even at allies' expense. The Kusma review will decide if North America stays united or splinters into rival blocs.